Welcome to Classic Game Room. I know many of you watch AVGN, but do you have to be a fan of his show to enjoy his game? Let's find out with Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures. This is Tron, but I gotta hold something. So here's the deal. The angry video game nerd gets sucked into a bad video game and is forced to play it. The only problem is that it's his own game. And it's not that bad. So where does that leave him? At least he's armed with an NES Zapper, a Power Glove, and that thing from Zelda, but it's not the quality of the game that may cause anger. It's the sheer difficulty. This one shamelessly takes you back to the 8-bit classics on the NES, games that were just impossible. But back in the day when we were kids, we had lots and lots of time to memorize and play them. And this is a side-scrolling platformer that pays homage to those days. So you're probably wondering if I'm a fan of the angry video game nerd. Well, I'll tell you, one of the problems with working on the internet is that after I'm done working, I never want to actually see the internet. So while I've seen a couple of his videos, I can't quote the guy backwards and forwards like a lot of you. However, I did see one shot in one of his videos a while ago that made me have immediate respect for him, which is the one where he pulls a beer out of an Atari 5200. Because that's exactly what that spot was designed for. So James, we're on the same page there. However, I do question your taste in beer. I do not question your taste in games, though, or the hard work that went into Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures, which is terrific if you're into platformers. It's not too hard to see what games have influenced this one. Games like Castlevania, Mega Man, and Beat It and Eat It, the legendary porn game on Atari 2600. Mr. Nerd seems to have an infatuation with bodily fluids and secretions, as well as some other things. But you know what really confuses me? Look at the top left of the screen. Your choice in beer. You can do so much better. They don't even make it in the glass-lined tanks of Latrobe, Pennsylvania anymore. I'll give you 33 reasons that beer sucks. But I really can't find any reasons that this game sucks. If he's going to be stuck in a game, and he likes these kinds of games, then he likes watching himself, then he may as well be in this one. Because if you're into old-school side-scrolling platformers that are hard as nails, you're going to love Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures, whether or not you've even seen his show. It's a really enjoyable, vibrant, colorful game with some great influences, as you can see. We got Rob the Robot here. It looks a lot like Metroid. I love the music. And it plays very well with the Xbox 360 controller on Windows. I'm playing this off of Steam on a personal computer, my IBM PS2. Okay, maybe I have a newer computer than that, but this harks back to the days of games where you had to not only be good at them, but also memorize them. Games like Mega Man, Castlevania, and numerous other classics that require precision when playing them. There's just no margin for error in this title whatsoever, and that's just the way games were back in the 80s. You didn't spend 500 hours running around leveling up and unlocking things in those days. You spent 500 hours memorizing the game. At least Mr. Nerd gives you something like 30 extra lives in order to continue your adventure. For many of you, and by you I also mean me, that won't be enough. I had to hand the controller over to somebody else for this one before I tossed it through Outdoor Simulation Wall 9000. I've never been any good at platformers.
Game is too hard for me, but Brandon over here seems to like these kinds of games.
I don't have an opinion yet.
Come on, Brandon, you have to win the game. Win it.
I'm winning it.
Win the game.
Winning it.
Win the game.
Winning it.
Beat it.
Leave me alone.
What you really gotta do here is play it as much as you can to memorize it, while also playing through the game in a way that you collect a bunch of other characters that you can switch to who have different powers. And maybe that'll help, but probably not because it's just insanely hard. Now we're back to me playing. Here I'm making a mess out of this level like usual. The only issue I have with Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures is the silly notion that that particular beer would regenerate your health. It would do more harm than good. Come on! That's just science. Also, I'm not so sure what I think about all of these images of pus and other bodily fluids being spewed into my ears. That's just kinda weird. You can pick this game up on Steam if you like old platformers. If you like his show, I think you'll like the game. It's Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures on computer.